Hello everyone. Welcome to the video. In this video, let's talk about AWS Data Sync. Firstly, let's see what are the key components which we are going to cover in this video. What is AWS Data Sync? What are the key features and benefits of AWS Data Sync, and how the data sync works, and architecture of AWS Data Sync, and use cases. And let's compare the AWS Data Sync with the other data transfer services, and how the pricing works for the AWS Data Sync. What is data sync? So, the AWS Data Sync is a fully managed data transfer service that simplifies the moving large amount of data between on-premises storage and AWS services like AWS, Amazon S3, Amazon Elastic File System, and Amazon FSx. So the AWS Data Sync reduce the complexity associated with the data transfers, so making it efficient and reliable for the business handling large data sets. So it helps to move files like documents, databases, or backups between your local data center or other cloud provider or AWS storage services like AWS S3, Elastic file system, and Amazon FSx. So instead of manually transferring the data, so the data sync does it faster and ensure data stay consistent and secure. So install a lightweight agent in your local environment and configure task via AWS Management Console. And Data Sync handles the heavy lifting for the transferring the data. What are the key components? So, it automates the data movements and support on-premises to AWS and between the AWS region and across storage classes. And it also handles migrations, data protection, and the replications. Let's discuss about key features of AWS Data Sync. So it's a fully managed service. No need to manage infrastructure. So you don't need to set up or manage any servers, networks, or software to transfer your data. So the AWS handles everything for you. It's a high performance transfers, speed up to 10 GB per second. So it can move the data very quickly, so up to 10 gigabytes per seconds. So large file or a data set can be transferred faster than traditional methods. And the third one is secure. So uses TLS encryption and support data integrity verification. So your data is encrypted while being sent using a TLS, similar to how website keep your information safe. So in that, it also checks to ensure data isn't altered during the transfer. Automation, scheduling, and incremental data transfers. So you can schedule transfer to happens automatically and only move new or change the data, and it will help to saving time and effort. Integration works with Amazon S3, Amazon EFS, and Amazon FSx. So it works seamlessly with AWS storage services like AWS S3, storing the object storage, and EFS for the file storage, and FSx specialized file system. So, making it easy to store and organize your data. And lastly, monitoring integrated with Amazon CloudWatch. So you can track and view your data transfer progress, performance, and any errors using Amazon CloudWatch, so which provide insight into what happening with your data. Now let's talk about benefits of AWS Data Sync. Faster transfer. Transfer are up to 10 times faster than open source tools. So the data syncs can move your data up to 10 times faster than other traditional methods like open source tool. So you can save time, and it reduces operational overhead, automates tasks like scripting, network optimization, and error handling. So you don't need to manually write script or network settings or fix errors. So data sync handle all these tasks for you automatically. Scalability, efficient for large data sets. So whether you have a few files or a massive data set, so the data sync works efficiently, making it suitable for both small and large scale transfers. Data consistency, ensure data integrity during transfers. So it makes sure your data arrives exactly as it left, and without error or corruption. So you can trust the transfer process. Cost efficient, pay as you go pricing. So you can pay for the amount of the data you transfer with the no upfront cost or long term commitments, so making it budget friendly. Now let's see how the data sync works. So firstly, uh, components. So in the components, we need to install the agent. So software deployed on premises to connect with the local storage. So firstly, a small piece of small software you need to install on your premises system. So it will connect to your local storage and prepare your data to transfer. And the AWS management console. So you need to configure task and schedules. So this is the web interface where you can set up and control everything. So like choosing files, which files you need to move, and scheduling transfers. And in the lastly, I need to mention the destination, like AWS storage services like IOS3 FSX or EFS. So the AWS storage service where your data will be sent, such as AWS S3 for object storage, and EFS for the file storage, and FSX for the specialized file systems. Now let's see workflow. So firstly, install and activate a data sync agent. So you need to download the agent to your local system and install it, and later connect it to the AWS console. So this lets data sync access your files. And after installing, create a task and define the source and destination. So the location of your data, you need to mention that, and the AWS services you want the data to go like S3 or EFS, and you need to start the task manually or scheduled. So you can run the task in manually to start the transfer right away, or schedule it happen at the specific time. You can monitor through the AWS CloudWatch. So you can use AWS CloudWatch to track the transfer, see if it is running smoothly, and get alerts if anything goes wrong. So this is the architecture of AWS Data Sync. So this will illustrate how the data sync is used to transfer the data from on premises data center to the AWS in a secure and efficient manner. So let's see how it works. So here you can see this is the on-premises data center. So it contain your organization storage system uh, where your current data resides, and this is the AWS Data Sync agent. So this is the software deployed in your on-premises data center to manage and facilitate the transfer of the data to the AWS. So it will help to connect to your local storage system and reads the data to be transferred. So this is the AWS Direct Connect. So it is a dedicated network connection between your on-premises data center and the AWS. So this will ensure a secure and high speed and reliable data transfer path. So this is the VPC. So once the data reaches to the AWS through the AWS Direct Connect, so it routed to a virtual private cloud. So which is your private and isolated network within the AWS region. So inside the VPC, we have a secured layer. So this is the secured layer. So it will represent a security group or firewall that protect your VPC resources, ensuring only authorized traffic can access your data. So after receiving the data, so the resources that can process and analyze the data after it transferred. So data is after analyze and analyze process, and that data will transfer to the Amazon S3 bucket. So the data is finally stored in Amazon S3 bucket, so which is the scalable and secure storage services in AWS. So this can serve as the final destination for archiving, backup, or further processing. So the AWS Data Sync agent will identify the data on your on-premises storage. So the data travels through the AWS Direct Connect, uh, a private connection to ensure the fast and secure transmission. After the data enters to the VPS, so where it protected and optionally processed by the EC2 instance. So after all the process done, so finally the data is stored in the S3 bucket for the future use such as analytics, backups, or archiving. So overall, this architecture is ideal for automation and optimizing large-scale data transfer to the AWS while maintaining security and the readability. Now let's talk about use cases of AWS data sync. So first one is cloud migration. Move large dataset from on-premises to AWS. So it helps to moving your large file and a data set from your on-site server like servers or the on-premises to the AWS cloud storage. So it transfer data quickly and secure and reliable way. So it will helping you to switch to the cloud within the minimal hustle. And the second one is a disaster recovery. So copy data to the AWS for the backup purpose. So it will help to creating a backup of your important data in AWS. So it is a safe if something goes wrong at the at your primary location. So it automates the process of copying your data, making it easier to stay prepared for the emergencies. And third one is hybrid cloud workloads. So continuously sync data between on-premises and AWS. So keeping your on-premises systems and AWS in sync, so they can work together seamlessly. So to ensure that updates to your data are mirrored between both location in a real time or the schedule. And lastly, data archiving. So migrate cold data to lower cost storage classes. So moving old, rarely accessed data to the cheapest storage options in AWS. So it simplifies the moving data to the cost-effective storage classes like Amazon S3 Glacier. So it will help to saving money while keeping their data accessible if needed. Now let's compare the AWS Data Sync with the other data transfer service. So here there are three data transfer services. First, like AWS Data Sync, ACP or RSync, or AWS Snowball. So, in the future of speed, the data sync can transfer the data in the high speed, like up to 10 GB per second. But the SCP or rsync uh, transfer the data in a low speed, and the AWS Snowball can transfer the data in the medium speed. And the AWS Data Sync can automate this process, like transfer the data. But in the SCP or rsync, so there are the limited automation features to transfer the data. Uh, and in the AWS Snowball, it contain the automation feature to transfer the data. So the AWS Data Sync transfer the data in the size of petabyte. But in the SCP or rsync, it transfer the data in the limited size. The AWS Snowball will transfer the data in the size of petabytes. And lastly, the AWS Data Sync is a fully managed service to transfer the data. But the SCP or rsync is a it contain a manual management system to transfer the data. And the AWS Snowball is also contain the partial managed system to transfer the data. Now let's see how the pricing works for the AWS Data Sync. So data transfer fees. So the AWS will charge you for the charge you $0.125 per GB transfer. So if you transfer per 1 GB, so it will charge $0.0125. So for the agent, it is the free to use service but require the deployment. So you need to deploy for the use of agent. Example, like if you want to transfer 500 GB, so it will cost you $6.25. So let's see what are the tips for the cost optimization. So schedule a transfer during the off-peak hours. So if you want to optimize the cost, you need to schedule the transfer during the off-peak hours. and we need to use the incremental transfer to reduce the data size. Now let's get a hands on AWS Data Sync. So here you can see this is the AWS Data Sync console. When you enter to this console, you can get a detailed idea about the data sync, how it works, what are the pricing, and benefits and features of the AWS Data Sync. So here they provide three features. So you can migrate the data between on-premises storage and AWS, or you can choose the different cloud services and with the AWS, or you can choose you can migrate the data between the AWS storage services like S3 bucket. Now I'm going to choose AWS storage service. So here you can see I have already created two S3 buckets with the name of S3 source bucket. This is the source bucket, and this one is a target bucket. So in the source bucket, I have uploaded some files, uh, but in the target file, I leave it as empty. So choose between AWS storage service, and let's get start. So here uh, you can choose a new location for the source, or you can choose an existing one. In the configuration, you have to choose the AWS storage services. So here you can see Amazon EFS file system, Amazon FSX, Amazon S3, Hadoop file systems, like that. So now I'm going to choose S3 bucket. You can choose your region. After I need to enter the location of your S3 bucket, that is a source bucket location. So go to browse S3. Here you can see those two buckets are showed here. So I'm going to choose S3 source bucket. Uh, if you have a IAM role for this feature or this service, you can choose that, or else you can auto generate. So just click the auto generate. It will the AWS will create the IAM role for your data sync service. So go next. Here you need to choose the destination location. So here in the configuration, you have to choose S3, and you need to enter the target S3 bucket location. Go to browse, select the S3 target bucket, and you can choose the different storage classes like a standard, intelligent, standard IA, one zone IA, like the glacier instant, and glacier deep archive. So you can choose which storage class you are comfortable. So I'm going to choose standard, and create a IAM role. So when you click auto generate, the AWS will create the IAM role for you. So click next. The third step is configuration settings. So here they provide two type of features. So if we choose enhanced, so you can transfer virtually unlimited numbers of objects with enhanced metrics, more detailed logs, and higher performance than the basic mode. So it is currently available for the transfers between the S3 locations. If you choose a basic plan, so you can transfer between storage class and on-premises edge or other cloud storage. So subject codes on the number of the files and objects in the data sets. So you can choose whichever you are comfortable with that. So now I'm going to select unanswered option. So after that, you have to give the name for this task. So S3 so data sync S3. So after that, in the source data option, so there are two options. So everything or specific files, object, and folders. So if you choose everything, before the data migration, so the AWS will scan the entire data, so whichever included inside your S3 bucket. Or if you choose the second option, it will ask the specific files to scan that data. So now I'm going to choose everything. So scroll down here in the transfer option. There are two options. You can transfer all data, or you can transfer the only data that has changed. So whichever content has been changed, uh, that data you can transfer that data only, or you can transfer all data. So here I'm going to select transfer all data. So in the verification, there are two options. Uh, the first one is verify only transfer data. So when the transfer is completed, it will verify the entire data. Or you can choose the second option. So don't verify data after the transfer. So now I'm going to select verify only transfer data. So you can they provide a bandwidth limit. So you can choose available bandwidth or keep deleted files. So if you want to keep your deleted files, you can choose that. So I'm leaving as a default. So scroll down. So in the schedule, you can select a specific time or day or week to migrate the data. So you can mention that, or you can now I'm going to select not scheduled. You can get a task report. So you can get a summary only, or you can get a standard report. So in the standard report, you can get a complete detail about your task, including full list of files, objects, and dictionaries that data sync try to transfer, verify, and more. Or you can choose none. So leave it as a default features and click next. So before going to create the task, verify the configuration which you have done. So create task. So here you can see the task has been created in the name of Data Sync S3. So here you can see schedules, locations. In the location, you can get detail information about the source location and the destination locations. So here, this is the source location, that is S3 bucket, and this is the target bucket destination. So now, when you click start, so go with the start with the default option. So when you click that, the task will be task has been started. So you can see started execution. So go to the execution details. Here you can get details about the files which are transferred. So still it's in the progress. So refresh. So it's still in the launching status. So wait until it's complete. So it will take some time to migrate the data between the source file to source S3 bucket to target S3 bucket. So it's still in the launching status. Here you can see the data migrated from the source to the destination or the target bucket. So here you can see, so all the files are copied from the source bucket to target bucket. Here you can see the task status is available. So that means all the files which are included in the source bucket, there all the files are transferred to the or migrated to the target bucket. So this is how you can choose the AWS Data Sync to migrate the data between the AWS storage services. So here you can see in the history, you can see the status as success. It took 3 seconds uh, to complete this task. So this is how you can AWS data sync. So thank you guys for watching this.